Welcome to Vets Talkin Tunes. Welcome to Vets Talkin. Here once again, we are going to be talking Tom MacDonald, this time In God We Trust, a beautiful song that has a wonderful patriotic message in it. I am with Pope Metallicus. He is at Pope Metallicus on YouTube. That man really knows his music. I don't. When we're going through this, I'm hitting on the lyrics. This guy knows the music. So do check out his channel at Pope Metallicus. You can see it on his headline right there on his name. Pope Metallicus, how are you doing today, man? You ready to get into some Tom MacDonald?
Absolutely, man. I really dug the last one. And like you said, really enjoy his message. It's very patriotic without being like over the top with it and preachy. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I can't wait to see the comments again on this one as well, because you guys absolutely killed it. I was overwhelmed with all the love. And especially all suggestions. This song was called out many times, and of course because it's such a great song. So let's go ahead. We're going to get into this. Tom MacDonald, In God We Trust.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. It's actually a bigger plan. It's called social conditioning. They took away our privacy. There's always some believe them if you.
Okay, so I like at the beginning here, he's talking about they separate us from our neighbor. No, I'm going to keep going.
Who would have thought those who love the country the most would be hated on by folks who call America home?
Okay, and there's a reason why I wanted to keep it going right there. Every year there's a new name for enemies that we're facing: Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, and now American patriots. And yeah, this really is the case now. Us as patriots, if we want to wear an American flag or fly a flag outside, that's looked at as being bad. It's looked at as being racist. You know, for the longest time, we could actually see people who are actually committing real atrocities like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. You can see that as actually being the real enemies. But now people actually are just conditioned to believe that we as patriots are so bad, even though there's no real evidence. It's just constant lie after lie after lie, and they're just believing it.
Well, I mean, we're at the point now where you can get put on an FBI watch list for having a Gadsden flag as your profile picture on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Yeah. And, you know, talk about irony or tone deafness. Like, that's literally what the Gadsden flag was about, and what the people who were, you know, flying it believed in was freedom of expression. And now you're literally putting them on a watch list for saying it. So,
yeah,
kind of proving their point.
Yep. All right, keep going.
Both political parties are equally just as evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn about the people. Black, white, yellow, brown, humanity needs you. Because united we stand, divided they will defeat you.
And that's the key right there. That the division is what they want. The division is the absolute key. That's why they call everything racist now. And that's why we are labeled as being racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, you name it, istophobic, phobophobes. Because as long as we fall into those categories, then whatever the issue is that they want to have us separate and divide, then they just need to label, if you don't like this, then you're a racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobe. So therefore, they can just continue the division. As long as they label everything as racist and we are automatically the racist, then automatically there's a division and we are just automatically bad people no matter what.
No, absolutely. And I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, holdovers from the periods where, like, you know, the civil rights movement, or, you know, the feminist movement and stuff like that, that did have a legitimate point, but they got what they wanted and they got equality. Well, the point of any activist should be to make themselves irrelevant. But when you're irrelevant, when that relevance goes away, well, now you have to find another gig and another job to do, because you made money off of this for 30 years. So they don't want it to go away. They'd rather grift off of it. And you saw that with people like Al Sharpton and stuff since the 70s. Yep. And what they really hated was that we had defeated a lot of this shit. Racism wasn't really a thing, especially in our generation. Like, nobody cared. Like, yeah, we'll make jokes about it and stuff, but nobody actually gave a shit. And now it's back because they're starting to feed that division again.
There's another Tom MacDonald song. His line, it's amazing you say the line is, The only races we hated was the ones we ran and didn't win.
Yep, pretty much.
And that's a song that we'll hit up another time. Yeah, it's true. I did not grow up. I grew up in a very white state, but I never had a racist bone in my body, and I never knew any racists around me. But now everything's racist automatically. All right, let's get into the chorus here. I think you're going to appreciate this from a musical point.
Seeing they lying to us, don't know who to believe. So in God we trust.
All right, I want to hear your opinion on the tunes.
I like the melody in it, and harmonizing like that, especially with people singing in two different registers, is fairly hard to do. I mean, and yeah, with the magic of editing, you can make it sound, a lot better. But I like that they match the key. Like they're singing offset by an octave, but they're singing in the same key. So, she's singing higher, obviously, because female. That tends to be how that goes. But they matched it very well and made it sound good, because people singing in two different registers can get really chaotic and kind of combative at times. Like they can kind of be trying to overpower each other a little bit, but in here it kind of works perfectly.
Yeah.
So, and the melody is really nice too.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, that's Nova Rockefeller. That is Tom's girlfriend. They are the best couple ever to make these videos together. It's absolutely amazing what they've been able to do. And I love the message. Obviously, the core message of this: don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. I mean, that's it right there. Everyone, there's so many issues. People always saying, it's so frustrating because I don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe in the news and all those other issues. And really that is, I won't even try to act like I'm the best kind of a Christian myself, but I tried my very best, at least also, to try to stay focused on having that positivity in my life as well, and try to focus and understand that there is a loving God out there. There is that Jesus does love us. And that is a core, I try my best to stay focused on that and remain positive when there's so much negativity in the world.
Absolutely.
All right.
You hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left. Everything they say is depressing. Ship them to the Middle East. They can learn oppression.
Yeah, they can. Ship them to the Middle East and they can learn oppression. You think things are so bad here? Really? You think things are so bad here? Why don't you go ahead and find yourself in Iran with your pride flag and see how they act?
Yeah, or Afghanistan, where like even just basic living is a struggle for most of these people. Like, I mean, even in Kabul, it's not great, but if you get out into like where we were in, Garmsha district in Helmand province, it gets, the most rural places you could imagine. It's almost like another planet.
Yeah. Yeah. You think they even have any concept of what a smartphone is? Hell no.
I mean, they do, because they know them. But when
a concept of understand what it's like to own one is what I mean.
I think some of them even have them these days, probably. But when it comes to like clean water, plentiful food, stuff like that, that is stuff that they cannot achieve or haven't achieved.
Yeah.
And, it's a very different life over there. And, there's the hierarchy of needs. Well, it's easy to be, altruistic and stuff like that when you live in the wealthiest country on the planet and have had everything taken care of and given to you your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
don't know what hunger is like actual hunger.
Yeah.
So they don't understand how most of humanity lives and that we are the exception.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep rolling.
Stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo-foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather.
Yeah, and that just nailed on exactly what you're talking about right there. I mean, they're so busy bitching and complaining, talking about white privilege and capitalism's so bad. While they've got all these wonderful luxuries that people would kill to have just a slice of in other parts of the world.
And I really hate the term liberals to describe these people, because they're not. Liberal is a political ideology that would apply to most American conservatives at this point. But
classic liberalism versus modern liberalism are two
because modern
completely
liberalism
different
isn't
things.
liberalism, it's leftism. or a bit,
Yeah.
or one form of socialism or another.
Yep.
Which,
You're right.
it's based on the same theories. It just took it way further.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, keep going.
We ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only kneel when I pray. I just pray we go back to the old days, land of the free, home of the brave.
And one quick pause right there. Obviously, the great message that we can all understand. I stand for the flag and only kneel when I pray. Because, God dang, man, I can't imagine how there really is any true combat vet out there who really thinks that it's okay for little turds like Kaepernick and all these other ones to kneel for the flag. I've had this debate with a few different people, and they try to say, "Oh, but it's okay because he's doing it for this meaning." Okay, that's the opinion of a little privileged multimillionaire who was raised in a very rich white neighborhood. Says that's his opinion for what that means, whereas it's the opinion of those of us who actually fought for that flag that it means something completely different. And it's nothing but disrespectful.
Yeah, they don't understand military etiquette and stuff like that. Taking the knee in front of your opponent means you are surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
That is something Americans never do.
Yep.
It's also why you
All
are not
right.
allowed to show the American flag reversed, because that means we are in retreat. It doesn't happen.
Right. Well, of course, yeah, that just depends on which arm that's on. That's why everyone has the confusion thinking that this is a backwards flag. No, it's because it's on my right shoulder and I'm going in this direction. So it's flowing in the correct
And
direction.
the field should always be on its own right, essentially.
Easy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe. So in God we trust. Yeah.
All right, so just give me an opinion on your the overall sense of the music so far with the chorus and everything else and how it all comes together.
I really like the way this is put together. It's composed pretty well. I like that even with a different lyricist, they kind of kept the same tune, and with a different cadence, we're able to stay with the rhythm and really make it sound like it fits in the piece, because it's very difficult to match two vocal styles and two ways of rapping or even singing. And to do that well with two different singers in a song, or three now at this point, is really cool. I really dig that. It's really hard to get so many people working together and have it all come out with this kind of quality. So hats off
Absolutely.
to, not only the performers, but the production team as well. Everything sounds
Well,
super crisp. You can even hear a lot of the percussion in the back, which has kind of a military march to it, which I like.
yeah. You're right. I hadn't even thought about that. All right, we're gonna meet the fourth person for a song now, Mr. Struggle James, who I've never even heard of until this song, but I love this guy. Check this out.
Yeah. Execution, cool persecution if I make a contribution. Home of the brave look like a mental institution, and there will be revolution if we can't find resolution.
Okay, so right there, I'm going to hit on this because we said this last time when I was talking about the Gadsden flag. There will be revolution if we can't find resolution. Again, this is not a threat. Nobody over here really wants violence. But if you keep on pushing us, if you don't come to the table and help us to reach a resolution with all of your grievances, just keep on pushing us and see what happens. Because again, the snake in the Gadsden flag, the snake will leave you alone, but as soon as you step on, it's going to bite you.
And unfortunately, throughout human history, we've seen many, many examples of it where one side's not willing to talk or doesn't want to, or thinks they have the upper hand to the point where they don't need to. And at that point, what happens. Violence is usually the only solution at that point. Martin Luther King said it, is those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable.
Amen. Amen to that.
We fighting for our freedom. Don't believe what they've been feeding. Be the change you want to see. The warrior that we're needing.
Hear the cries of the Crusaders as we're strapping up our armor. A great allegory to, to the days of true warriors. To religious crusaders. If here we're talking about fighting. We're talking about fighting for God, and in this entire song, we're talking about this positive message essentially wanting to bring God back to this nation. And so you can look at this as a matter of symbolism, but also it's a double meaning in the literal sense, because we can be strapping up our literal armor. But I think that what he's saying there is, I know that God got us, so I'm fighting in his honor. Hear the cries of the Crusaders as we're strapping up our armor. So I think that he's talking about the religious armor as well as the physical armor, if necessary.
Not even necessarily just religious, not even just purely ideological. I mean, it's faith in your cause. I mean, even as someone who's not a Christian myself, not a religious man at all, I mean, I fight for the Republic. That is my higher goal, is for the continuation and prosperity of the American Republic under all circumstances. So, like, you know, it doesn't have to be a God necessarily or a specific ideology, but, you know, a cause is enough.
Yeah. And the last line he has on here, be the change you want to see, the warrior that we're needing. Be the change that you want to see. In other words, if you want these people to, you know, stop burning down, to stop tearing down statues, to stop trying to burn down federal buildings, to stop going out and want to shoot someone because they have a red baseball cap, then don't do the same thing. Don't be them. We need to be better. And it can happen. I know so many people that are frustrated out there, and they think that we're at a point now where we need to just pick, you know, to pick up arms and fight. We're not there. I really don't think we're there. So we need to stay positive. We need to have a positive message. We can't fall down to their level. And that's what he's saying right there. What do you think?
No, I think he's right. And I think you're right too, where I don't think we're there yet. Unfortunately, we are very far down that path. And, you know, there does become a point, like when you look at the history of most revolutions and or civil wars, like a lot of things happen to lead up to that point. It's not just, I don't like this government, bang. It's usually a list of either years or decades of horrible shit that whatever happened, whatever the trigger is. And then there's usually a point that makes it inevitable. In the American Civil War, I think that was Harper's Ferry, which if you guys don't know about that story, go read up on it. It's actually pretty interesting. But usually once people start dying, that's where the point of no return. And we haven't hit that point in a large way yet. So let's hope that continues.
Yeah. I hope that everything is coming through okay. We are using this on StreamYard to record, and I think it sounds like it's glitching. So if we're not coming through perfectly, I really apologize. Please hang with us. All right. We got one more on the chorus, and then let's wrap it up.
Man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dream trust.
I just real quick, because I didn't hit on the other parts of this. The man on the news says the problem is me. And it's obviously he's not talking about just the man on the news. We're talking about the entire coalition of the news, the social media, all forms of entertainment is constantly labeling those of us on the right, those of us who are patriots, as being bad people. Hell, even Star Trek Discovery portrayed their terrible portrayal of the Klingons. They even said in there that the Klingons represent MAGA Republicans, people who are Trump supporters, and that they use the warrior cry Kapal as being MAGA. And I mean, it's disgusting the way these people are. But I think the pendulum is starting to swing. You look at how Hollywood is losing tons of money, and they're going to have to stop with this crap at some point here very soon, because they just can't keep pushing their ideological message in the media anymore without just going completely bankrupt.
And, you know, once again, what's really worrying to me, a lot of it is, first of all, we're starting to see some really, really bad signs, like people in authority and in the establishment pointing out members of their own society as the problem. Who does that remind you of? The Soviets, the Germans, all of the people who did really bad shit to their own people has started with
every single tyrannical dictatorship in history.
Yeah. And that's not a good sign of where That, and also people forget that that political thought in society tends to swing in pendulums. So for the last 50
Mhm.
years, we've been on a swing to the left. And the problem with the pendulum is it swings just as far back the other way on the rebound. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
if not further. So I don't think, and the left has taken away most of the protections that they would have against a far right government if it ever happened. So I hope it doesn't. And this is why we didn't want anyone to have this power, by the way, because that's always one of the liberal talking points is like, oh, well, you guys would love it if you did. It's like, no, we didn't want anyone to have these kind of abilities.
No, we believe in checks and balances in our governments. While we have 3 separate branches of government, but they have tried to make it all just one dictatorship, being in the president. Well, it's not going to work out for you going forward.
And they've, consistently removed some of these things, and then the Republicans have used it against them, and they sit there and cry about it. It's like, we warned you at the time that this was going to be used against you someday, and you have no one to blame but yourselves.
The offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers.
We just want freedom. Leave us the fuck alone.
Right? That's
we don't trust you. We don't trust you. We don't trust the news. We don't trust government. We don't trust pharma. Quit fucking lying to us. Just leave us alone. Give us our freedom, and we'll leave you alone. It's as easy as that. This is what, if you're talking about classical liberalism, libertarianism, it's small government, and it's just, as long as you're not breaking the law, then you can do what you want. I'm fine with that. Just don't try forcing your message on me. Don't try indoctrinating our children or sexualizing them. Just I'm gonna stop myself right there. You go ahead, man. I'm gonna get hyped up if I don't stop.
There's a phrase that you'll be well familiar with, and so will the other veterans on our audience. Just stay in your fucking lane.
Yes.
Stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine. And it's not that we don't want to trust the government or the media or whatever else. They have proven through their own actions that we can't.
Yeah.
And can never afford to.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's sad that we can't trust the people who are supposedly on our side, but it is what it is. And when you constantly lie to people and try to manipulate them, well, that credibility is going to go away real fast.
Amen, bro.
Know who to believe, so in God we trust.
I forgot to point this out last time too. I don't know if you're aware, Pope, because you're new to Tom MacDonald. Tom MacDonald's a Canadian.
That doesn't surprise me.
He has dual citizenship now, so he is also American. But he grew up in Canada until not that long ago.
That doesn't surprise me. A lot of the even people who are citizens now or who are foreign born actually understand a lot more about the United States and how special we are as a nation than most of the Americans I know. And I've heard that from many foreigners I know, is that most Americans are fucking spoiled kids that have no idea how good we have it. Because everybody's sitting here complaining about all the bullshit, not realizing what we have is something that most people would die to possess, which is an actual functioning libertarian-ish, it was a lot more back in the day, style of government that basically, as long as you're not trying to hurt other people, you can do what you want and be who you want to be here. And that is something that we should never, ever lose, because we do that, I think we are truly lost as people.
Absolutely. And to wrap things up here, I'm going to say, so the last song that we did was Tom MacDonald America. And I said on there, and I said also in a couple of the videos I've done, thanking all the massive hangover gang out there who supported that last video and has supported my channel at this point, which is incredible. Thank you guys so much. I wanted to do Tom MacDonald songs because of the patriotic and anti-woke messages that he has. I had no idea that's going to get me these numbers, but I want to keep on doing this no less because I love Tom MacDonald. I am Hangover Gang for life, HOG Army. And So it was great with that song and all the great messaging we hit on that. But I want to slow things down and do this one, not only because we got so many recommendations on it in the comments, but also because this is a beautiful kind of, to slow it down a little bit, but a beautiful song and a beautiful message. And it's inspiring to hear this positivity here. And I think that we need to continue to push this kind of positivity in light of so much negativity out there. Like I was saying, you know, we're a powder keg of a nation right now. It's no telling what's going to happen, you know, or when. But if cool heads don't prevail, then things can get really bad here really quick. And I don't want to go down that road, man. And I think that's going to be my last say on this.
No, I think especially as veterans, I mean, like you say, we don't want to go down that road because we've been down that road before and we know where it leads. And the last thing any veteran wants to see is another battlefield, especially one where he's fighting his own people.
Absolutely.
Like, that's never a situation any of us want to find ourselves in. And I hope that we can smart our way out of this and kind of come to our senses as a people and realize what we're doing is not working. And the way we're treating people is not working. And I like the fact that they got that message across in this track in a way that, you know, aside from a, you know, line here or there, was not accusatory of the other side or anything like that. It was basically just saying, this is what's going on and this is not cool.
Yeah.
And like, this is who we are. This is who we want to be. And just let us do it. And
Absolutely.
I thought that was a great message to send and really fitting for, you know, this nation.
Yep. I totally agree. And like I said, I love this song. I love Tom MacDonald, and we're definitely going to keep on doing more of these. So everyone out there, go ahead and give us a recommendation. What would you like to hear next? Did you like this song? Did you like our reaction to this song? If so, go ahead and drop a like and the subscribe. Share this video out there. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. I am at Vets Talkin. Drop the G and you'll always find me here on YouTube, on Rumble, and at Vets Talkin on Twitter. He is at Pope Metallicus. Do check out his channel. Please give him a subscribe and show him some love, because obviously he's a patriot as well. And he does more amazing reviews like this on his channel as well. So everyone out there, please remember as well, we always have live streams every week on Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern here on Vets Talkin. And we will keep on doing more videos like this. I also do a lot of kind of nerd stuff as well. I love Star Trek, and I've been reviewing Star Trek Picard Season 3, which I actually really enjoy as opposed to all the other modern Star Trek that's been out there. Everyone out there, I hope you've enjoyed this. If not, then you can go ahead and share this video to other people who want to hate on it as well. Keep on giving me more numbers. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But if you do enjoy this, just remember, you don't have to be a veteran to enjoy this conversation. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.
Open those arms! Oh, God! Ah!